and welcome to this edition of English News. I'm Kate Mary. Let's look at the headlines first. Further funds under NHM may be cut off due to irregularities in Health and Family Welfare Department, including National Health Mission. Now the news in detail. A lot of irregularities in appointment, supply of materials, depriving qualified officers' rights, etc., all in violation of rules, have been allegedly going on in the Department of Health and Family Welfare, including the National Health Mission. Our video journalist Ranjan Ningombam and sub-editor Naurabam Phillips took pains in trying to find out the various irregularities in the state department and found this story. For the first time in Manipur, the National Rural Health Mission, now changed to the National Health Mission (NHM), was implemented for a term of 7 years. The project was planned to renew every 7 years. A whopping amount of rupees 200 to 300 crore is released every year to the State Health Mission Society, Manipur, by the NHM under the Government of India for taking up various welfare schemes for the people of Manipur. But in the state, it remains $1 million question whether the project is going on successfully in Manipur or not. The State Health Society Manipur had recruited 150 different posts on contract basis on March 1 this year. The Joint Director of Family Welfare, Dr. Khundrakpam Usha Devi, was reappointed as Medical Officer on contract basis in their recruitment. Dr. Usha's superannuation was to be on March 31st. Her reappointment as Medical Officer before the retirement on March 1 was allegedly in violation of the rules. While employed as an officer on regular appointment, reappointing her as a simple medical officer in the NHM is not only surprising but also clearly deprives the right to work or employment of other qualified candidates on the waiting list. On the other hand, though the rules direct that the post of Mission Director of the State Health Mission Society, Manipur, should be held by an IS officer, the Director of Family Welfare Department, Dr. O. Ibomta, still enjoys working as the Director. In this regard, the National Mission Director of the NHM, New Delhi, had reportedly sent written intimation to the Chief Secretary of Manipur 2 times. This is in flagrant disregard of the instructions laid down by the NHM and also has created a precedence of holding dual charge by the Director of Family Welfare Department. The State Health Mission Society had engaged a chartered accountants firm called KRA and Co. based in New Delhi to audit the expenses of the SHMS. The annual audit report made by the chartered accountant categorically states that there are instances of a large amount of money being misappropriated. The misappropriation involves lakhs of rupees, purchase of materials beyond the rules, depositing an amount of rupees 40 lakh in a bogus bank, etc. are some of the acts of misappropriation of money. The huge amount was deposited in favor of Delhi-based firm called Medisphere Marketing Limited Company with a bank named J&K Bank, New Delhi. When the company failed to supply materials even after 8 or 9 months, the SHMS inquired and found out that the bank was bogus. When the SHMS tried to recover the amount, the bank had no money either. Now the questions arise as to why the SHMS did not verify whether the bank was really operating or bogus. Pradhan of Fayeng Gram Panchayat, Gojendra, today planted different varieties of saplings at various places of Fayeng areas in collaboration with 5 local clubs. The tree plantation program was attended by the members of Fayeng Umang Committee, which is looking after the preservation and protection of the forest in the area, and representatives of 5 clubs and villages. Talking to media persons, Gojendra said, if anybody is found involved in felling trees from the Maning Umang of Fayeng, he or she will be fined a sum of rupees 10,000. Besides, if anybody sees any person cutting tree and does not inform the committee, the witness is also liable to pay a fine of rupees 5,000, he added. He further said, 4 members of the committee have been taking care of the forest since the last many years, he said.
ai fatana government na mieng changbire herga masigi umang asibu kandaba yade adai uasi hondaba yade haiba pandam amang loina ngasigi akhoi u thabagi program asi sinjabani.
Thongju Kendra Development Committee today distributed fertilizers in subsidized rate fixed by the state government to the farmers of the Thongju AC under the aegis of Department of Agriculture. The distribution program was held at the residence of Thongju MLA T.H. Bishwajit. 2,200 bags of urea were distributed to the farmers of the constituency at subsidized rate. Yoga players who represented Manipur and bagged medals in the 27th National Yoga Championship 2014 held recently in Nagpur were felicitated today at Sri Radha Govinda Yoga Center at Uripok, Laikhulembi. The felicitation function was attended by Councillor of IMC P.H. Praneshwari, advisor of the center Radha Govinda and many distinguished persons. A blessing-seeking ceremony of Khomdram Film's first production Manipuri digital film Ningol was held at Manipur Press Club today. Editor of Image, a film journal Ranjan, Vice President of Amvimpa Kishore Kumar and many artists took part in the ceremony. R.K. Ningol and K.H. Sanatombi are the producers of the film, while Amar Raj is the director. Speaking at the function, Chairman of Film Forum Manipur L. Surjakanta said some authority of the film Mary Kom, a Hindi movie based on the life of Olympic bronze medalist MC Mary Kom, had asked permission for the release of the film in Manipur. However, he informed them that the decision of releasing the film in Manipur is not in his hands and that the forum could not finalize on it, he said. Now some national and international news. Delhi BJP President Satish Upadhyay today, along with other state leaders, met Home Minister Rajnath Singh and senior leader Nitin Gadkari to discuss the formation of government in Delhi. After the meeting, the Delhi BJP chief said that if invited to form government, the party would analyze its numbers and accordingly take a call. He also said that the party is ready for elections anytime. Congress and the National Conference Alliance is headed for a split in Jammu and Kashmir, with the Congress clarifying its stand that it will fight alone in all 87 seats in the state assembly polls. It is better not to depend on other party like we did in 2002 and 2008. We contested of our own. Let us contest of our own again. We don't want to run the risk in assembly election, Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad said, adding that there is no danger to the current state government as they will not pull out their support. Reacting to the split, NC leader Mehboob Beg said that the Congress is within its rights to say what they want to say, but admitted that the upcoming polls will be an uphill task for both the NC as well as the Congress. Kerala Governor Sheila Dikshit has clarified her stand that she will not resign from her post under any pressure. She added that she is not desperate to keep her job. Sheila has been under pressure to resign ever since the Narendra Modi government took charge at the centre. She had recently met the Prime Minister and Home Minister Rajnath Singh over the issue. However, she termed the visit a mere courtesy call. Following the change of guard at the centre and the new regime's pressure, 5 governors have already resigned. They are B.L. Joshi, Uttar Pradesh, M.K. Narayanan, West Bengal, Shekhar Dutt, Chhattisgarh, Ashwani Kumar, Nagaland, and B.V. Wangchu, Goa. 2 governors, H.R. Bharadwaj, Karnataka, and Devanand Konwa, Tripura, retired late in June. Children seeking arms have not just grown in numbers, but their way of functioning too has taken an aggressive turn. Consumption of liquor by child beggars has now become a daily practice near Buddhanath Temple in Bhagalpur. Just a few steps away from the temple is a hub of these homeless child beggars who can be witnessed sharing pegs with one another in broad daylight. However, what used to be a bare minimum sight has now become a round-the-year menace. According to a report in National Daily, most of the child beggars claim their drinking habit helps relieve their stress and tiredness. Residents apprehend that the menace, if left unchecked, will in due course result in increase in antisocial activities across the district. Talking of the lurking danger, in such cases, appropriate precautionary measures must soon be taken. Free admissions to schools, health facilities, housing provisions must be provided to make these children lead a better life. Outraged world leaders heaped pressure on Russia Sunday to press Moscow-backed rebels in eastern Ukraine to allow investigators proper access to the crash site of the Malaysian MH17 jet. Rescue efforts were in disarray as armed gunmen in fatigues and balaclavas refused to allow international monitors full access, and the grisly remains of some of the 298 passengers killed have yet to be removed. Ukraine has warned that the rebels, who Kyiv and the US have accused of blowing the plane out of the sky with a missile, were hours away from removing key evidence across the Russian border. On the third day of the Israeli ground operation in Gaza, similarly chaotic scenes were repeated at overwhelmed hospitals across the Strip, where medical supplies are already depleted and staff exhausted after 12 days of heavy aerial bombing, now intensified by ground battles. They are struggling to cope with a war that has already killed more than 333 Palestinians and wounded more than 2,400. With both Israel and the Hamas militants who dominate Gaza holding out to achieve their goals before a ceasefire, the operation appears to be more intense than a similar conflict in 2012, which lasted 8 days, killing 133 Palestinians. Singapore Airlines SIA has apologized for posting an insensitive comment on social media about the Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 crash in crisis-stricken eastern Ukraine. Hours after the Boeing 777-200 passenger jet with 298 people on board went down on Thursday, believed shot by a surface-to-air missile, SIA posted on one-line statement on Facebook and Twitter. It read, "Customers may wish to note that Singapore Airlines flights are not using Ukraine airspace." The comment sparked anger among users of social media. How about at least acknowledging the terrible event and sending condolences to those families and friends involved instead of this cold, classless update, wrote Michael Reeve in response. Hundreds of others joined in the condemnation, but some defended the airline, saying it was trying to reassure customers concerned about the safety of their flight route. It was bad enough that the alleged rape took place in the sanctity of a mosque and that the accused man was a mullah who involved the familiar defense that it had been consensual sex. But the victim was only 10 years old. And there was more. The authorities said her family members openly planned to carry out an honor killing in the case against a young girl. The mullah offered to marry his victim instead. This past week, the awful matter became even worse. On Tuesday, local policemen removed the girl from the shelter that had given her refuge and returned her to her family, despite complaints from women's activists that she was likely to be killed. To wrap up the headlines once again, further funds under NHM may be cut off due to irregularities in Health and Family Welfare Department, including National Health Mission. Well, that's all we have for the moment. Stay tuned and keep watching.